Hey everyone, and welcome back to our gaming podcast. And today I'm joined with Un and Anger.
Hi. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the podcast.
Yo, I am Anger.
Yes, that's Anger. All right. Okay. All right. It is actually our first episode of this podcast because the previous one was actually the pilot. And well, it's technically our second recording, but it's actually our first episode. I know it's a bit confusing, but we'll get there eventually.
Woo! Let's
I
go.
know. Okay, so today, well, it's going to be more fighting games. So if you guys are not into fighting games, you can turn the podcast off. But we are going to talk about fighting games because, well, we love them.
Yeah, they're near and dear to our hearts.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
Absolutely. Okay, so the subject. I mean, we're going to have a couple of topics, and hopefully, we will have time to touch all of them. We're going to talk about Power Rangers Battle for the Grid and the Street Fighter pack. It's been out for a while now, but we want to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about the Tekken saga, the games, and what is our favorite game in the franchise. Then, what about combo? Are combo good or bad in modern fighting games? There's a lot to discuss here, so hopefully we can do it. Something a little bit more of a light topic, I would say. Sexy characters in fighting games, and that's of course Anger suggestion for today,
Obviously, yes. You're all
obviously,
over it.
and another quick one as well about what brought you to fighting games, and also what is your first fighting games. That is of course if you remember it. So we're going to try to talk about everything, and finger crossed we got time for it. Let's start with Power Rangers Battle for the Grids and the release of the Street Fighter pack. So, what do we think about it? What the Street Fighter pack brought into the game? And when I'm talking about the Street Fighter pack, I'm talking about of Ryu and Chun-Li, of course, because well, they are the main
I
character of the
think
franchise.
I think it's the best. Ryu and Chun Li in a Power Ranger game. They basically in everything now. Fortnite was only a small step. They're
Fortnite
basically
was
in
just a
everything.
small step for sure. Yes, I think it's great. When the pack was released and I start playing with the characters, I was wow. I was like, wow, this is impressive. This is amazing.
They even changed how they played. Yeah, they even changed how they played. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 of Ryu, basically.
Yes, it's very similar to that, and I was very surprised the way they integrated them into the game mechanics. Very well done. The funny thing is, and probably it's probably going to be weird for some people. As we know, a Battle for the Grid is a direction and button system, so you don't have any motion input in the game.
None
But
whatsoever.
for Ryu and Chun-Li, they made an exception, and they kept the original input, motion inputs of those characters from Street Fighter and over fighting games that were on. So they actually are the only two characters with motion input. So that was very interesting that they kept that into the game. What do
Yeah,
you
there
think?
was
And Anger, sorry.
the the other one says I like how they have motion inputs. I mean, I just feel like
Feels
they
like
have added the moves, but still made it like it can combo, like not in like Street Fighter combo, like a real combo that uh, belongs to Battle for the Grid, and it made it really good and kept the things that made it Street Fighter still. And the only thing I don't like is just you need to hold or whatever you charge to get the moves, which I hate in every fighting game. And also they made it actually quite hard to play them, but if you can play them, you are going to be really strong, which makes the player like make a reason to make them try harder and stuff.
yeah. I never enjoyed the hold down then press up, like hold down 3 seconds and then press up and a button. I've never did enjoy that. Guile was like a big instigator of this. Guile, was it Honda? they made the characters more defensive than would need to be. You couldn't just rush forward and like pull that move off. But again, the move they did have would be kind of broken if they could at the same time. It was just it wasn't a very good dynamic for me. And but this game doesn't really require those inputs because the way it's just the design, you could rush forward most of the time and cover with your assist.
I mean, only Chun-Li has those type of
Yeah,
inputs anyway.
only
So
Chun, yeah.
there's no issue with Ryu in that aspect. Ryu has this motion circle as always for
Yep. Shoto.
but yeah, but Chun-Li, she's a bit more different in that aspect, but she always has been like that anyway. So it's not really a surprise. Personally, I don't mind those inputs. I never really had any issue with it. To be fair, I actually have issue with Mei in Strive because she has the same type of input. But the problem with her is you have to incorporate that into her combos as well. So you have to buffer a charge move in her combo.
Yeah. See, that's what
Which is
I'm
a bit
talking
of the
about.
same.
You
Which is
rush.
a bit of the same with Chun-Li as well, but that's
Yeah.
another topic of discussion. So yeah,
Well,
yeah, Street
but that's-
Fighter pack.
I mean, this opens the door for so many more ideas because we could get definitely like a crossover Capcom, Street Fighter, or anything Capcom with the Power Rangers, and I think that would be amazing.
It is nice how the character fits so well in the game as well. I was very surprised about that. I thought it was going to be a little bit weird to have Street Fighter's character in it, but they made it work very nicely.
They did.
And that opens up those characters for a lot of different other games as well. I mean, there's Fortnite, okay, which is not fighting games, but they are there.
Yep.
They are more at home in Battle for the Grid for sure. But, you know, they could be anywhere now. They could be in Tekken.
Yeah. I mean, Kokomo's in Tekken, so
yeah,
Yes.
so I mean, this is some other topic we can talk about in another topic where Street Fighter is literally on every fighting game and not even fighting, like as you say, Fortnite, that is not even fighting and it's still in there. But that's just that maybe more for another topic.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the hold, it's nothing really covered in Battle for Grid, but with the Chun-Li, who I actually really enjoy, she's the one you actually need to do to get this TODs, which is really important in Battle for Grid, and that's what is so annoying, because I really like her, but to just hold the charge, like, and
Yeah.
especially it's really needed in the combo, because you need the EX to make them restand and then continue combo after it, or it won't continue now.
No, I think the regular one restands. The EX just continues the part after. But you can. It's just, again, it's really creative with her. She's probably one of like the craziest mix-up / creative characters I've seen in the game with the air dashes in the combo, which was insane.
Yeah, she's pretty insane. And that brings me to something that the Street Fighter pack, I mean, those two characters brought into the game, is the level of technicity that Chun-Li brought into the game is absolutely insane. You will think that having Chun-Li and Ryu in the game, they will make the inputs or the combo, for that matter, more simple. But no, they cranked it up to 11, and they made their combo absolutely insane to do. I mean, Ryu is probably a bit more simple, but Chun-Li require timing that it's absolutely very difficult to pull off. I mean, at least for me, and as I can see a lot of good player pulling that off, but for me, comboing with Chun-Li, I mean, doing a proper B&B with Chun-Li is quite a challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think for veteran player who has been playing Battle for the Grid in a long time, I think this is the right challenge at the right time. You know, if they thought that they know everything about the meta, then those two characters, they are bringing much more
Yeah.
to the table. And
I saw that.
yeah, and it's amazing because you will think the more a company release new DLC, the more they make the game more easy and the character more easier to use. But with Battle for the Grid, it's the exact opposite. Every new character that they bring up, every new DLC they are more technical than the previous one, and I think it's one of the first fighting games like that in modern age that does this. Because let's say in Dragon Ball, every time they release a new character, they are more easier to use or to play than the previous. They're trying to make the game even more easy to get in, and I think it's pretty amazing. But I really have an issue with how tight those combos are becoming with those two characters. It's very, very tight. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to pull off. It requires a lot of labbing. I think I'm reaching a point where it's becoming a bit too much, but I am not saying it's a bad thing. It's just personally for me, it's becoming a bit too much with those two characters. That's it.
It's overwhelming, basically. It's almost overwhelming.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you never did,
know.
as they play the Marvel series, so you probably don't understand the complexity of those inputs
I mean,
in
I don't
the real
I don't
time.
have an issue with the inputs. It's just with the timing of the combos, which is very specific and very tight. The
Again,
windows
that
between
yeah,
connects are very, very tight.
yeah, that's basically what Marvel's Capcom is. Very tight windows to do a lot of stuff. Very fast inputs and like, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, great character, great addition to the game. I'm not complaining. It's just that the combos, if you want to pull off proper BNB and even TOD, you really have to work for it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's really hard to pull off. But the moves they have is like really good. Like example, I can't talk too much about Ryu because I haven't played him too much because he wasn't as appealing to me as Shundi was. And here 2M has a good range and it's really fast. Like it's really hard to react to, and of course you can get some great combos with it. But the thing I really like when with the new character, as you said, they have the complexity, but also they're just pleasing to see when people just pull off the combos, and that's what most people want to, because not everyone is playing game but like to watch the game. Like I like to play game, but I mostly like to watch the game. And when I see like example like Toaster Man when he did the Chun-Li combo on one of your stream, Fox, it was just so cool looking. It was like, damn, this guy has been working for it, and it's well deserved because you can see the technicity, but still say, wow, this is really cool. I think that's more what the game needs, because I feel like the only thing that was a little lackluster from the beginning when I started was maybe a little visual, but they really step up the game, in my opinion. How the super whatever it looks, and just how the moves looks, and the particles and everything.
Seeing good player putting those combo into action, it looks amazing. It's amazing, and you realize as well the work put into it to achieve it. It's something else. It's really something else. And when like I said, when you see a good player doing a TOD with Chun-Li or Ryu, you know that they've been practicing a lot and they understand every single frame and every single timing that they have to do in order to achieve it. Kudos to the good players, and kudos to the dev to make it possible as well, because they could have done it easy, make the character very easy to use for newcomers and just mash the character.
Yeah, I think people expected them to be actually pretty easy, because it was Street Fighter, and they thought, oh, people are going to, this is the players, not the developers, the players. Because I thought it was going to be easy. I was one of them. I thought they were going to be more easier because of make it more friendly to new players. Because Street Fighter, the Street Fighter. Of course they're gonna make it so people can play them. But bro, I was like, okay, I gotta play, make it easy. I can start the game with just unga bunga. That wasn't the case. It was so much harder, but it was so much fun to play them as well.
They went the other way, and I really appreciate that. They didn't make it easy. I really appreciate that.
And they aren't just strong just for the case of being strong. You need to be good with them to make them strong. They had just don't have like one OP move or one thing that makes them super strong. I mean, Maybe Chun-Li's assist is a little stronger than most, but I still like you still have to work with the like your ordinary is how to say the neutral. It's not free neutral whatever they do. In what I have seen at least.
Great characters, great release. That elevate the game even more. So yeah. Do we have
Pretty
any more to say about it?
I mean, I can talk about it for Grid, but we're talking about the Street Fighter pack.
course.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So you can
Yeah, I think I'm
maybe if you
first
wanna,
time,
yeah, we can talk about Battle for the Grid of itself for next time or something.
you get it, anger. Battle for
Sure,
the Grid
we
is the
can do that.
best. I'm just playing. Alright, let's go.
All right.
So what was the next topic?
Alright.
Okay, the next topic is Tekken, the Tekken games. And okay, what was your first Tekken, and what is your favorite one?
My first Tekken was, of course, Tekken Tag Tournament. The first one. It was such a good game. Was on PlayStation 2. I remember very well. It was just so many. There was a big roster. It was just a lot of fun. Because I think it was one of the with the Tekken with the most rosters. Even after the, even if they did more Tekken after, it was still one of the biggest roster of the Tekken franchise. It was just really fun to play so many characters and tag with your two of your favorite characters. It was just wow, just really fun. Yeah, I've been playing.
So that
since-
was your first one, Tekken Tag.
yeah, it was my very first one, Tekken Tag. Really fun game.
Anger's first baby steps, basically.
That it was really my first baby step. If you're gonna talk like that, I mean,
Your
was
first
my
fighting
first
game
game
as
ever.
well, isn't it?
yeah, my first fighting game and my first ever game. Like, I had no game or any console before PlayStation 2, and the first PlayStation 2 game was Tekken Tag Tournament. So it's my
Wow.
first game overall.
You know,
And
I've
that's
still yet
why
to try that game yet.
I still haven't played that game. I still haven't played that
Yeah,
game.
I want to try it, but I've never actually tried it. So
yeah, it's one of the best. Not gonna lie. I even saw Maximilian, with his Legacy, Kazuya Legacy. He's playing all the game Tekken that Kazuya is in, and
yeah,
even
I
he
saw a
feels
bit of
like
that,
it's still really fun and looks visual pretty good, even right now on Tekken Tag Tournament. It just shows how like it's still aged pretty well. So yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
talk too much about it. So you guys can talk about your first two.
My first Tekken would be Tekken 3. Is the one that I found first, I think. I never had like a PlayStation growing up, but a friend did, and that's how I ended up trying out Tekken 3. I liked it. I really did enjoy it. It was a fun game, but I didn't spend the most time with this game. The one that I bought for the PlayStation 2 was Tekken 4, and I spent a lot of time in that one. It was really fun. I enjoyed playing with the other characters, the those training mode they had. I think they had like a beach volleyball, I believe. That one's fun as
yeah.
well.
Beach volleyball was an
Tekken Ball.
I think Tekken
Third,
3.
third. Okay, it was
Yeah,
in third.
Tekken
Yeah,
Ball,
okay,
Tekken 3.
I feel out on the third one. Yeah, because a lot of my friends don't play fighting games. They don't really like. They're not good at them. If they play them, it could just be one sided for like a very long time, and they just get up frustrated. I'm just like, I want to go easy on you, but if I go easy on you, then you get even more mad at me. So it's like, so yeah,
Yeah.
but that volleyball was really fun. It was a good side thing for the side, and I was like, yeah, we enjoyed playing that a lot of that. But again, it's I think Tekken 4 had the Tekken Force, I believe it was called Tekken Force mode. That was hella fun to me. Running around, beating a bunch of people up, trying to survive.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
was
just
it was a beat them all, a beat them up. Sorry.
Yeah, it was
It's like a beat 'em up. Yes. A beat
It
'em
was
up with
a
Tekken
really
controls,
fun
yeah.
adventure.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever beaten it. I don't think I've ever gotten to the end. But I don't remember, so I don't remember. It's been so long that I played that game. But yeah, I put a lot of time into this one, and I don't know much of the story, the plot, other than Kazuya getting tossed out the mountain by Heihachi, and then coming back and throwing Heihachi off the mountain, and then Jin being a clone of somebody. I don't know nothing about the lore, but that game
can
was
talk.
really really fun.
I can say a little about the background, a little,
Is it
just so you guys have the
is it a
basic.
little?
But I'm gonna say a little about it, just not all. Or it will be too much. But at
Okay,
first,
but
I wanna
let's
hear Mr. Fox what
Mr. Fox
his
first.
first game was.
Oh, but hang on, you didn't mention which is your favorite Tekken.
Four, four, please. I'll take four.
Four for Un, okay. Anger.
Oh, mine is I mean, playable wise, that I actually remember is probably Tekken 7. But it's I like more nostalgia and something I would play again is Tekken Tag Tournament, the first one.
You gotta make it so difficult to you, man.
So the first one,
Okay.
and the favorite one. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, for me, the first Tekken that I played was Tekken 2. I first touched the game in the arcade, and then the game was released on PlayStation. So, which I got when I had a PlayStation, I had to get the game, which I never managed to find. By the way, I don't know why the game was always sold out when I was trying to buy it. And I remember going to the shop for Tekken 2, and the seller didn't have it, but instead there was a copy of Star Gladiator, which is a Capcom game, a 3D Capcom game, and I was like, oh god, I'm tempted to buy this game, and I did. I bought Star Gladiator. It was very different from Tekken. Star Gladiator is more similar to Soul Calibur a little bit.
Okay.
So I was a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, I managed to find a great game, and that great game was Star Gladiator. Okay, that was me off topic. So yeah, Tekken 2 was my first Tekken, and that's probably the Tekken that I played the most. The game was great at the time, with a huge amount of characters to play. My favorite Tekken will probably be Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
Yeah, it was just a really fun game, but it was broken in so many ways when
And that's
now
why I
they
liked
went
it.
out.
That's why I liked it. I also really liked Tekken 4. I really like Tekken 4. I have a soft spot for Tekken 6 as well.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a bit difficult for me to choose between Tekken 4, Tekken 6, and Tekken Tag Tournament 2. So out of the three, I think I will pick Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but just by a hair.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I feel like I like them. I like the three of them equally, almost. If I had to pick one, that would be Tag 2 because it's the craziest one.
That reminds me. I did have friends that played a lot of Tekken. Like I wasn't really huge into Tekken, but I remember because I would play a lot of fighting games. My brother would try to get like opponents for me because he had a lot of friends that would talk a lot of smack, and it'd be like, "Oh, well, you have this game. I'll kick your butt all over the place and blah blah blah." Then he'd bring me up. He'd be like, "Yo, my brother will play you in that game. And my brother will play you in that game." He's like, I have friends that play. That's what a bunch of his friends played a bunch of Tekken, and they could do stuff like that. They can do the 10 hit combos. They knew all the little moves. They knew all the little here the gimmies there and all that stuff. And I was like, I still kind of did. It's like put up a fight. I didn't say I would beat them more often than not because they were actually really good at the game, and they weren't just talking just to talk. And yes, I guess always back to Tekken 4 though, but it was Tekken 4 era around the time that it happened. So you guys
What's
have anything else?
next? What do we have
Just-
next? Oh yeah, combos in fighting games. So the idea here is to talk about modern fighting games have a huge emphasis on combos. Is it good or is it bad for you? Do you like huge combo in fighting games, or do you like some combos, or do you prefer a more grounded and footsie game? And what game now are going on with huge combos?
I feel like I really am going for a combo, but I don't like this like super long combos. I just like there's combo but not too long, but not too short. Like a combo where you can still be super creative and do like your own, and feel like nobody has done it. Like wow, I made this, but still not that long. That okay, I need to press for this and for that and for that. That takes forever and just makes it just like a movie. You're just watching. Okay, I'm gonna eat some popcorn, heat up some of my meat, and then come back and eat. Watch while my opponent is doing the combo on me. Oh, I'm eating. I'm done with my food. Okay, I can finally play again. I don't want it. I don't like combo that is super long, but I still like combo. That makes you can still be creative with it.
No, I
So
understand. I
yeah.
understand. Yeah. I am
Yeah.
all for combos. I am all for combos. Exactly the same as Angry wants them. Yeah, I don't want them to be overly complicated, over convoluted. I don't be tight little windows where you can only have a little 2-frame link or something like that. I don't enjoy that the complexity in combos, but I do like the creativity and the comfort of coming into it and then going, okay, instead of doing this like everybody else, I'm gonna do this, and that, and it's gonna work. I like coming up with my own stuff. I like seeing the things that people can come up with as well. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to combo. It's not a great thing to combo all day.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Anger. Sorry, Un. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
going to do that. Sorry,
agree
I'm going
with
to do
me,
that.
Fox. Not anger. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I'm
I'm
going
just
to do
joking.
that again. I agree with you. Aha, I can speak. Let me do that
You agree
again.
with those both? I continue.
I agree. I agree with Un.
What?
I like combos in fighting games, but they don't have to be everything. I mean, if you don't want to combo, but you still have a chance to win a match, then I like that. I like that the game gives you a choice. But overall, I like combos. Not terribly long combos, medium size combo. I think it's fine. A game that does it very very well is Killer Instinct. You got
Oh,
your average combo to insane combo, but it's always well integrated into the game. Combos never feels out of place, and you have combo breakers as well to help you getting out of them. So
that's right.
yeah, I think Killer Instinct is one of those games that implement combos very well into its system and to the game overall.
Yeah, with comboing
This
somebody is also a meta game. It's crazy.
That's right.
the one of the games I like combos really a lot is Dragon Ball Fighter Z actually, because I feel like even if you don't know which character you can play, it still has this combo that is universal that works for everyone, and it's just fun. And then if you wanna get more into the character, you can find a specific character a combo that you can just do, and even if you find the right team, you can just come up with crazy stuff to do, and just do 2D as well, and it's just amazing what you can do with the assist and just with their own character and what they can do and what they links. Because most of the things in Dragon Ball Fight is still links with each attack, and yeah, I think it's a really good one where even casual can learn the universal values. Does a decent amount of damage, and it's really really fun.
I have to agree with you, Anger, regarding Dragon Ball. I like the way that there is a common combo for most of the characters, a combo that you can do from one character to another, the exact input, and that makes it enjoyable because it's a decent combo that you can do for each characters. And if you want to go more in depth with one character, you can learn the actual optimized combo. I think Dragon Ball does it very well too. The common combo, which is not the auto combo, by the way, it's a different combo. It's just a common input that you put for that you enter for every characters in the game,
The majority
or
of people, yeah,
most of
the
them.
majority of people.
Yeah. So Fighters does it very well, I think.
Mm.
Yes.
And do we have to add anything else about combos in fighting games?
I mean, this
They're fun.
you may not agree, but I feel like I like the combos in Strive too. But as you
Oh
have said too,
no.
it feels a little limited. But I still like it's just fun to do stuff in that game because it this feels limited. It's still and if you find combos that links good, it just feels okay. I found something, and it's really good and in that game you really get rewarded for doing a good combo. Like damn the damage, and I really love damage. Just to let you guys know, I really like to see the life go away. I just you're dead.
The problem
Thank
I
you.
have with Strife combo is they are limited by design.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, it's like the dev. They ensure that you do the combo they want them to do, and you cannot do
Oh,
more. You cannot do more than what is planned. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, and I get you
Eh,
now. I get you. Yes.
They restrict you overdoing it. That's what I meant.
I feel
And
like
also
if you
you don't get a lot of
Um,
creativity as well in Strife combo. You can obviously find your own path, but I feel like there's no much, at
There's
least
not
for
much
now,
BAC to where you can go. Yeah. Okay.
available. To be honest, it's still a little bit too early
To say.
to say, because I'm pretty sure some people are going to find insane routes for those combos. So we'll see.
I was gonna talk about. What's that game? I can't even remember the name of the game right now. Skullgirls. Skullgirls combo
Oh.
system has a thing where you can't reuse the same combo over and over again. If you
Yes.
do say
Yeah.
the same inputs and then you try to reloop that, they have the option to break out of your combo. You just gotta press a button or something like that, and they just fall out. It's just like you can't just reuse that combo over and over. I think it's like 2 times you can use the combo, and then if you do the same input of buttons come back, they'll just fall out. Or they have an option to break out early. And it's like you can't see the same combo back and back all over the place. It's not like in Killer Instinct where you can break out of it, where you see the same combo over and over again. It's just literally you just can't do it. You just can't reuse the same boring combo, and it's really cool because it forces you to be creative. It forces you to come up with something different for the next route, and keep in mind how many you've done it, and all that. It's really fun.
I like when games give you the opportunity of expressing yourself through combos. I really do,
Yeah,
and that's why I like the Street Fighter Alpha series, because you could have custom combo in the Alpha.
I love that custom combo special all day. I love that you can
It
just
was
go in
great
pressing
because
buttons.
I could do my own combo basically, and I like that, and I miss
Yeah,
that, to be honest. I mean, some games
yeah, I miss that
they
as
still
well.
achieve this feeling, but it's a bit more
Yeah.
different, obviously.
It's a
Yeah.
really fun thing to just find combo. Even I when the first thing I do when I actually play fighting games nowadays, even it's new game, the first thing I go is go to lab. I don't even go to play online. The only time I go online is more for when streaming and stuff. But mostly I go to the training mode and just find the new combos and post it online and stuff because it's just really fun. And if people can elaborate the, make it even better what I have done by first seeing me, it would be, it's just really fun to see how they can make it better and better now, and make it develop into a greater combo and into more fun combo, because I've seen that before and it's just really fun and cool. And yeah, that's the thing with fighting game. That's why I think fighting game develop into combo, because that's what make a game fun nowadays, in my opinion.
Mhm. It's funny that we enjoy combos now, but in the early days of fighting games, combos were very basic. At most, you were doing a 3 or 5 hit combo if you were lucky,
True.
and everybody were enjoying them.
Yeah, but do you imagine how much damage they did back then?
Yeah,
It's like
it was insane amount of damage. It's either it was insane amount of damage or the life bar was very short and the
yeah,
matches were
yeah,
very quick. So
yeah. If you did a combo, like look, did that 5 combo? Half your life I went away. Like whoa,
I
and like
know.
oh, you hit 5 buttons and I'm dead. No. So it was, yeah, it was interesting back then, but they definitely have improved from over the years and gotten better at it, implementing combos in the game. And I like how no game is the same with their combos. They try something different.
The game back in the day, they used to be very stiff as well. The if you were trying to do motion input for a special, that was tough because the special wasn't coming every time.
No, yeah, you're
The
right.
input required was very strict, and I'm glad that now it's more loose. You know,
Yeah, a little more
if you
lenient. Yeah,
enter something, the game is quite tolerant. You know, the game says, okay, you can do this even if the input is not exactly what is supposed to be.
yeah,
But it's for the best because they used to be very stiff fighting games back then.
yeah, yeah. You don't want
Very
that
very
in a
stiff.
fighting game, especially your combos.
No, no, you don't want that anymore.
Okay, so is that it for the combos?
Combos
Yes.
done. Yeah. So now we moving on to anger favorite subjects and probably un favorite subjects. Okay,
I
we
never
can
said it was my favorite, but I do have a lot to talk about this.
a
Under
lot
the hot
of
tub, just letting you guys know.
okay sexy
Go ahead,
characters in
go ahead.
fighting games. Let's go.
You have the floor, Anger.
Okay, I got you. I got you. So let's talk about one of the greatest fighting games ever. Probably. It's the Dead or Alive series. It was a fun game in a very specific way. The funny thing is, I didn't get the Dead or Alive for what it's selling for. I got it most for one character, but I stay for the view, the graphics, the way you can fight, and the physics in the game. You know how they just the bouncing everywhere. The juggles. I'm talking about juggle combos, as you guys know, right?
Of
Yes,
course,
of course.
of course.
Yes, of course. I like the kind of juggles, and when you lose, you still don't feel bad after losing, and that's one of the great advantages that our life has. Because most fighting games, if you lose, you can get pretty angry. I mean, that's one of the reasons for my name. I get angry really fast in fighting games because it's infuriating. And you guys know how angry you can get after you play some games, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
but Dead or Alive is one of the games just when you lose, it's just such a they just show you such a way that it's just maybe it was worth losing.
Worthless. Yeah, I don't
It
think
was
I've seen
worth.
your way. I don't think I would go probably a different direction here because if I was to like have my character is cat, obviously a cat. I'm a cat player, battle for the grid, and it's like I hate losing her. Out of all the characters I have, I hate losing her. Don't hit on my girl. That's my girl. Don't hit on my girl. Do not hit her. Stop hitting her. That's how I feel like every single time. I don't want to see her lose. I don't want to see her go down. And I understand the physical, the visuals that you here are trying to represent, but it's like I still rather not see that. I rather not see her in a lower position than what she is. I want to see her succeed in life, basically.
Cat, she's ugly. Let's be honest. She has a suit. There's a reason for it. Let's go. And when, but in Dead or
Oh,
Alive, they just
I
laying down, and they just when they lose, they're laying down in a position. They just feels good. And
I
that's
mean,
the
it's all you, but I understand 'cause there's a lot of demographics like you out there as well. A lot of games have been decided because of their of women games that they like to play with characters in games. Of course, Dead or Alive has the biggest the the
The
biggest
biggest attribute.
fan base,
yes,
the biggest fan base for this. I mean, they made a volleyball game. Come on now. They made a
yes.
volleyball, strictly women volleyball game, and it's like, but is it like a sexist thing as well? Because it's again, it's very hypersexual.
Mm.
Obviously, a lot of women don't enjoy that.
Well,
So
it's
it's
Yeah, I
like
for
mean, but I
it's for a
think they should.
certain audience. I will say
it's yeah,
it's for a particular audience. Really.
it's a particular audience. The game developers obviously know this. That's what it's in the games to begin with. But I read somewhere that there's a small percentage of people, or not small, but like this percentage of people that will get somewhat distracted by the what they're wearing, by the content of what they're wearing, and their reaction speeds would slightly decrease because of said their interests. Do you believe that's true? How do you feel
Nah,
about that?
they just nerds. Fuck them, bro. Anyway, no, but I can feel a sense why they're getting distracted. I mean, it can be distracted, but
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
just you made that point earlier, so
but I mean,
yeah, I don't mind losing
continue,
as long as you see that. And it's like you just lost the game. You just lost $4,000 in this tournament, and don't worry, you got to see what you wanted to
if you
see.
get distracted by that, bro, I feel like you shouldn't go to tournaments. It's all I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
I
never
mean,
been distracted by the forms in Dead or Alive while I was playing.
I mean, there is a
To be
lot of
to be distracted by this while you're playing, that is
yeah,
bad. That is very
yeah,
bad.
that would.
I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy it looking at it,
Mm.
but being to the point of being distracted, there's a gap. I think.
It's not that you're being distracted; it's that your reaction speed is slightly slower. Supposedly they made a test on this, and that the males that were playing the women characters were slightly slower in reacting to certain moves because of what they were noticing or because of the women characters they were playing. As when they put them on the male characters, they were actually faster in reacting because they didn't really care to look at the visuals. They weren't actually worried about that at all. And it's like, is it because of that or not? It's kind of hard to tell. There was a study on this, but again, I don't can't find the study right now, so I'm just trying to see if I can find it right now.
I mean, if they really caring about winning or losing, then they probably should. I mean, they can put. They shouldn't go to tournament. I mean, there's so many people that if they get distracted by that, they can probably be distracted by just the people and if there's any good at all in, like say, if you go flying and you go to tournament, like they're not gonna make it. I mean, if they get distracted for a 2D character, 3D character, imagine if it's a real life, bro. They're not gonna
True.
make it.
I think it's a bit too much, really.
Yeah, I
It's
think
the
people
fact
just
yeah.
overreacting. They're overreacting with the you get distracted by the character, bro. Don't play fight. Don't compete in that.
Well, it's like I said, this is not something that I'm well aware of because it doesn't happen to me. I'm pretty sure it does not happen to me. I look at the characters and I go, all right, whatever. I'm thinking of my next move all the time. But again, another board here. Dead or Alive community banned a sexy costumes alternatives in tournaments because of this reason. You brought Dead or Alive, and that's what happened in Dead or Alive. They banned certain characters' sexy outfits because they were too seductive and too promiscuous.
Wow.
Again,
Yeah,
it's not
well,
something I made up. It's something that's real, whether affected by you or not.
I believe
I
you.
believe you.
Yeah.
It's because it's so dumb that I actually believe you. I mean, they are a special breed. Let's say that. I mean, there is a reason why they play that game, and if they let's say they just made a tournament for that, it's mostly because they make it more for fun. I don't really like. Sure, it can be a competition, but I don't feel like if they really want to be in like the competitive scene, like for real, I don't think the clothes will actually distract you too much. And if you feel like you're distracted, then just pick ordinary clothes. That's how you can actually just do it. Or
Well,
if
yeah,
if
but what
the
if your opponent
opponent did
wearing that
that,
sexy?
yeah, that's what I was about to say. If the opponent does it, I mean, is he going to get distracted as well? I mean, they playing the same game, right?
Mhm.
And they probably the same kind of people that like that just that kind of game, you know.
True, but
The-
again,
ca-
these sexy costumes were banned for this very specific reason.
Yeah, but I think it's just more
It's not
for
it's not a huge gap. It's not like, but it's like point something percent, like point something of the reaction speed goes down on certain people that did this test on. So it's like it's not something that's like it's out there. It's a real thing. Some people will get affected by it, and it's like that's why these specific costumes were banned in Dead or Alive tournaments for a while. I'm not sure if they are. I don't really play Dead or Alive. I did see a lot of it, and I got into a little bit. I was gonna get into it, but for that new one, they had that free to play one with like 8 characters or something. But I never really got into it, and people were telling me about this stuff, and I'm like, what, for reals? The thing?
I don't know. And I feel like the reason nowadays they censor so many sexy stuff is because they want to have more like ads. I don't know, for the game, or make it so everyone can play. Because as you said, Dead or Alive is probably more for male uh, players, you know, not really for the women, or you know, for the other genders or whatever gender that is playing, you know. But I feel like, and that's why they probably wanna tone it down with the sexiness and just try to make it
Well,
more stable. I don't know.
they didn't tone it down for Dead or Alive 6 for sure.
They,
In,
they did
in
not.
fact, in
Yeah,
fact,
but
if you
that's
want
what
to,
they're known for, right?
yes, but that's what I mean. When you buy a Dead or Alive, you know where you're getting at, really.
Yes, yeah, basically.
In fact, Dead or Alive is probably one of the most expensive fighting games ever
Oh, I hate the
because
way they
there's
monetize.
like hundreds and hundreds of DLC available for this game. In fact, I'm looking at the Steam page right now, and I think there's like 460 DLC available for the game.
I
Meaning,
believe
It's
Yeah, it's so much.
Meaning that I think, if I remember, one day I've seen a figure that if you want to own Dead or Alive 6 with every single DLC, I think that will cost you around $1,000.
I can imagine that because the thing is, for people that don't know about that much about Dead or Alive, it's a sexy game. I should have started with this. And the thing is, the DLC usually when you wanna buy, is for characters, right?
Yes, it's a cosmetic, basically
But this is
cosmetic.
cosmetic, as you said, fuck.
Mhm.
It's
Um,
cosmetic that is
yeah,
costing so much.
You, you, you have season passes with characters, but most of the DLCs are cosmetic, outfit for characters and stuff like that. So that is the what Dead or Alive sells you. It's just cosmetic, and if they do that, that means there is a demand for it, really.
yeah, sadly. There's also they fought hard for this. Okay, so the company that makes this, I forgot what company is it.
Uh,
You guys know?
Team Ninja, Team
Team
Ninja, I
Ninja.
think.
Okay, so they went really hard on these DLCs with all this money grubbing. I did not enjoy. That's why I did not pick up the new game. But it is free to play. I think I believe like free for some characters. It's because the community themselves. I talked to a couple of people, and they told me that the community themselves fought for for hair colors. That they were
Mm.
trying to sell you blue. They're trying to sell you a yellow haircut, and it's like, wow, they really try to go all out with selling you everything, and it's like they didn't want it, they didn't have it. I think they finally removed that and actually went back on that, and just you go change your colors and stuff. But yeah, they really try to sell you like an alternate color costume for like your hair or for like just things like that nature for colors of your clothing and stuff. They try to sell you all of that, and I was not again with it. Very fun game, very bad monetization practices, very bad. And the
Yeah.
DLC for $1,000, it makes sense.
Obviously, it's just cosmetic. You don't need those DLC in order to enjoy
No,
the game, so
no, you
that's
don't.
fine by me. The problem is they are putting so much effort into those DLC that I don't know how the game is, how the state of the game is. I mean, to be honest, I never played Dead or Alive 6. I think the last Dead or Alive I played was the Dead or Alive 5, which was actually quite good.
Yeah, I played the 5 too.
No idea about the 6.
Yeah.
But I really hope the state of the game is well put together.
I think they actually stopped supporting Dead or Alive 6 and it won't
I
continue
I
Dead or
think so
Alive
too.
series
Yeah, I think so
because
too.
it they needed more than what they got. So that's just a rumor I heard like a year ago. I don't really know the state right now because as I'm not really into that community. I just played the Dead or Alive 5 because of one character and yeah.
We've been talking a lot about Dead or Alive, but it's not the only fighting games where you have, you know, sexy characters. It's a good
Is there
question.
anything else you guys want to add to this? I say
Um,
what I said.
Just
for
one short one. If you have time. Sexiness in the game, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm talking about the Mortal Kombat. That's what the first. Because they toned it down so much more with the time.
I don't know if the developer have talked about it and say, "Oh, we want to not to objectify a woman in a video game or something like that." But
Yeah.
I think that was a bit silly, to do this because there was nothing wrong to start with. I think in Mortal Kombat, it wasn't like Dead or Alive, where it was over the top in terms of body revelation or something like that.
I actually think it was pretty good in a 9. So I'm not gonna say anything about that. But I felt the difference directly when I tried 10. Was like, what happened with my waifus? It's like, waifu? Nah, man, this is my man film, bro. What the fuck is this? But also Charlie, I don't know, from this King of Fighters. I
Show
think
me.
you can Charmy, right? Everyone was talking when she came out, cause she was sexy, bro. And everyone was talking about. Everyone was happy. Everyone did fan art, bro. I think if it's going to become big, it's probably because of her. I'm not even joking. It's
The
probably because
The
of
King of
her.
Fighter is a big franchise already. It doesn't need
Yeah. But I
this.
think it's going to be even bigger because of they just stay with the. Don't try to take away the sexiness. They just continue with it, and people actually appreciate that, and they want to play the game more.
Yeah, yeah. It's not the main selling point, but
No, of course not.
in the King of Fighters there are a lot of female characters. On top of my head, there's Mei, Blue Mary, Shermie, of course, Leona, Athena, King. There's Mature and Vice, which are very, just their name is very sexually orientated. And of course, there's Vanessa, my favorite. Yeah, they have various degree of, I should say, sexiness in the female character in the King of Fighters, but it's never over the top like in a Dead or Alive. I mean, it's not the point of the game. It's not the selling point, really.
It's just
So, yeah.
some extra. It's just some good stuff.
It's a eye candy that you can appreciate, I guess, while you're fighting.
Yes.
But especially with Mei. I mean, Mei breast
Yes.
bouncing up and down was amazing at the time. In fact, it was so amazing that when the game was released on Neo Geo, the European version was censored with the breasts were not moving, basically.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. There's some version of the game where the breasts are not moving.
Bro, it's so the maze is so amazing that Sakura from the one who's doing Smash Ultimate, that he didn't want her in because the game is for good boys and girls.
But Bayonetta's in the game though.
Yes, that doesn't
Yeah,
make any
but
sense.
Yeah, but they didn't make her sexy, right? Like they can just
Are
cover
you
her
sure
up,
about
right?
that?
In the game,
They-
do she
they-
look
they
sexy
covered-
in the game?
They covered her up, her movements with hair, with more hair than they would in the actual game. But
Yeah.
technically, in those smash attacks, she was basically naked.
Yeah, but
But-
that's not much you can see, right? Because that's what he envisioned. But it's hard to do
Um,
with Mai. Like she's just aesthetic like that with hair things, just the hair boobas, hair badungas just hanging out, right? It's just how she looks like. But that's not how
True.
how
That's her
Bayonetta
design,
looks.
yeah.
Bayonetta has just all the clothes on, right?
Yes.
So
But
that
her
they can just
clothes
change
is
the
her
time.
hair, which is her
I
attack.
just realized that I said May instead of Mai. See, I've been playing Strive too
I've always
much.
said it May as well. I didn't know. I did not know.
No,
I
it's
said
Mai. It's
maybe
Mai.
I didn't realize I was saying the wrong name too. We all be saying the wrong name.
No,
all the
it's
time.
Mai.
I-
In the King of Fighters, she's called Mai. But there's May in Strive. Oh my god. This
Yeah,
getting
May is
confusing.
with a Y. You can hear how it's pronounced. Mai is with I.
Dolphin
Yeah.
Grout. Dolphin Grout.
Totsugeki.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, so
All right.
anything else?
Anything else? Okay.
I think we
last
should
subject.
continue.
Oh, that could last like 5 more hours, but we have to we have to
We
stop
have,
at some point.
Yeah. I have more stuff to talk about, but let's continue, or we will be here forever.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you're going specific details about like characters. It's cool and stuff listening to you guys, but it's like you're going specifically about this character and this character. It's like, ooh, you have to
I
be
have
really
some more specific characters. Just
And
I
go
know
back
you
in-
do, Anger. I know. You can probably talk all day about this, I'm sure. But I think we should
Yes.
move on.
Yes, that's what's it. Let's go on.
Imagine going into the lore of each characters. Oh my god, that will take forever. But anyway, right, the
Yeah.
last subject is what brought you to fighting games, and also what was your first fighting game?
Should I continue? Or start? I guess I do. So, as I said before, I started with Tekken Tag Tournament, one of my favorite games, and like it wasn't like it got into fighting games. Like it was mostly just Tekken when I played. Just when I started Tekken, it was just Tekken because it was fun, but really didn't play any other fighting games until way later, and that was with Tekken 7 and Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Like Tekken 7 is still there now. Tekken is still a part of me, but Dragon Ball Fighter Z and the Tekken 7 is what made me really get into fighting games overall. Because Because I didn't like how I lost all the time in Dragon Fighter Z, and I didn't like that. I saw people do other than just auto combo. I was like, damn, I can do combo. I gotta do combos. And when I started doing more combos, I played the Tekken as well. I was like, because I was in a tournament for Tekken and I lost, and I hate to lose. So I started training on that too. I was like, oh my god, I need to learn combo. And fight game just became so much more fun and just doing combo. And when it landed, the first time was like, I actually did a combo now. I feel so good. It's just so much fun. And just doing the combo, training combo was one of the most fun thing I had actually. I stayed for hours and hours in training mode, and it was just so much fun. And then when I executed it, it was just a lot of fun. It was it was something I never did because I just mashed mostly, and I felt happy, but it was really rewarded.
You just
As you know,
mash? Really? I'm surprised.
that was at the beginning, at any fight game. But then I just
and still,
actually learned my
and you
combo.
still carry on with the tradition. Good. You're very consistent.
Very consistent.
Very consistent.
Thank you. But yeah, it was just really fun to actually learn combo and get into for real get into fight games.
So Tekken Tag, the first one, obviously, brought you into fighting games, and it's also your first fighting game.
Yes.
Again.
No, the one who got me into fighting was Tekken 7 and Dragon Fighter Z. But the
Alright,
one I
okay.
played first was Tekken Tag.
Okay, so Dragon Ball Fighters and Tekken 7 brought you into fighting game.
Yes.
But the first one was Tekken Tag. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good games, obviously. My first fighting game, and I don't know if I can really consider it as a fighting game, but it's an old computer game. It used to be called. I'm going to butcher the name of the game, and I'm sorry about that. It's called Yai R Kung Fu 2, and it was a game released on the Japanese computer called the MSX2, and it used to be a very simplistic one versus one brawler or fighter, whatever you want to call it at the time. I was very, very young, so I have a very limited memory of it, but I still kind of remember it for some reason. But I think the proper first fighting game, my proper first fighting game was obviously Street Fighter 2 in the arcade and then on to the Super Nintendo. So that was my first fighting game. And what brought me into fighting games in details, I think that must have been Garo Mark of the Wolves. Even though I was starting to get into it with the King of Fighter 98. So it's either the King of Fighter 98 or Garo Mark of the Wolves. But again, I started playing fighting games online with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So there's a lot of games going around.
So if you're done there, I'm gonna say that my first fighting game was Street Fighter 2. Yes, as a kid, I didn't see it as a big thing back then. Like I didn't grasp the concept of it having like the first few little combos in games and stuff. And when I played it, just because it was on the Super Nintendo, I owned the Super Nintendo back in the days. I was always behind a generation in consoles compared to everybody else. So while everybody had a 64 or PlayStation, I'm here with a Super Nintendo. So I had I would actually trade my games. I would actually like buy a game at this one place for cheaper, and I would trade it. It would be a cheaper price. I would trade one of my old games, and then I would buy the new one for like the difference of what it would cost.
I used to do
So
the
that's how,
same as well.
yeah, that's how I got most of my games. And Street Fighter is one game that I did that a lot because there's a Championship Edition, there's a Ultimate Edition, there's all kinds of editions, and it's like, so I found myself doing that a lot with that game because I did enjoy it a lot, and it's the one of the few games I could bring out to my friends and we would just press a bunch of buttons and see what happens and see who wins, and you can talk your smack and you can be like, I'll bet you I could beat you with this character, and it's like, go your main or go do this. We didn't have any mains back then. It's kind of like just go your favorite character
So
and stuff like
mashing
that.
is not just my thing anymore. And I feel you.
I was always with you with the mashing. Come on, Anger. I was always with you with the mashing. It's just
Let's
my
go.
mashing is different. My mashing is specific mashing at certain times. At certain times.
Same.
And Okay, so that would be my first entry into fighting games. Okay, even though probably spent more time in Killer Instinct, nobody played me in Killer Instinct. So that was gonna when I started at kind of going knowing that I was a little better than most people at fighting games. But Street Fighter, we also had a chance because people could just like mash stuff, Hadoukens. I see my friend would mash Hadouken all the time, every time. So Hadouken, you get close, show you. Hadouken, show you, or grab. It's like wow, that's cheap. but you
That's
start.
yeah.
That's how I started getting used to how people were like mashing games and how to get around them. Instead of getting angry, I would just take my time stuff, and then be like, all right, I can get in now, and then get my hits and get out. So Street Fighter being my first, I would say the first thing that got me into fighting, where I decided yes, this is life for me, was X-Men versus Street Fighter. Was it X-Men versus Capcom? I think it's versus Street Fighter.
Xmas, Xmas, sorry, X-Men
Smash.
versus
X-Men
Street
versus
Fighter. Yeah, versus Street Fighter. I love this
yes,
game, by the way.
yes, yes. That is the actually like the first time I saw it. I came out of I was in middle school. I came out of school. I went down to the liquor store, which I've never gone into, and I got into the liquor store, gave me something to drink before I went home, and I saw that arcade sitting right there, and I'm just looking at it and going, "What? X-Men versus Street Fighter? Like, two bitty big games." Again, I played a lot of Street Fighter back in the kid, and I loved the X-Men versus the X-Men series on the animated TV show. Da-na-na-na,
I know what you're
da-na-na-na.
talking. I know what you mean.
Love
I
that, love
watched it a
that
lot.
song. Yeah, so that was my TV show growing up, right? That was it. That was the X-Men thing that I loved. It. I used to love the being like or pretend to be like Cyclops and stuff like that. Even though I learned later on that he was a weenie because he becomes a weenie later on, and Wolverine's a better one apparently. Yes, but I enjoyed that series, and I enjoyed that video game, and that mashup just like it just broke my little mind. It's just mind blown as a little youngster, just going, "Oh my god, this is real! This is a thing!" Remember, the internet is not huge here. The internet is not like the biggest issue here, so you don't know all this stuff. You just kind of have to word of mouth. Your friend tells you about this thing, you have to just believe him or find out if he's not wrong or something. Somebody probably that this to any of those games, they're just a lot funner for me. It's just a lot more chaotic, and I just love them a lot more than I would these other games. I didn't like any less. I just didn't enjoy them as much as I enjoyed this particular game, and that's about it.
Like I said, I love this game as well. I used to own it on, I think it was on PlayStation 1. Because there
It was
was a
neutered on PS1.
Yeah, I know. There used to be the Saturn version was better. I really want this game to come back, but of course it's never going to happen because if we don't have Marvel versus Capcom, we definitely not going to have X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Oh
So
man.
it's a bit of a shame, but great game. Yeah, it's just a great game. Another great game from Capcom. Capcom, they used to have a couple of years when they release fantastic fighting games, and even though I am not a huge Capcom fan,
Mhm.
I loved what they released.
Yeah, they released some gold for sure, and then kind of disappeared for a while. But they had
Yeah,
a problem when they released a bunch of fighting games around
they
the
had a
same
dark
time.
period as well. They had a dark period, but especially when they released Capcom Jam,
Yeah,
which was
for
bad.
sure.
But yeah, you can't really blame them for trying.
But I feel like it can be like a Capcom versus I don't know, Marvel or whatever. But I feel like it can still be like, because nowadays many games it's just crossing up each other now. Like Street Fighter is in Tekken, and Smash, well, it's Smash, but you know, Summer Showdown has Dark Souls. They're probably gonna be more games where, yeah, they're just gonna make other characters just join, you know, because it's really popular nowadays.
I'm trying to think of what do you think would be the first character to have a crossover? What do you think? I don't even know this answer.
In what
Um,
game? It depends on.
I I
it was
know
a
that Akuma was in Apocalypse. Children of Adam. X-Men's Children of Adam was Akuma's first crossover. I think.
I don't remember that, but it's possible. It's possible, yeah. I mean, it was a Capcom game again, so yeah, it's
True.
possible that one of their Street Fighter character ended up there.
Mm.
Because if you don't know, Anger, there was an actual X-Men fighting game, which wasn't a crossover. It used to be called X-Men:
What?
Children of the Atom.
Huh, I had no
Yeah.
idea. I'm just
That
assumer, I
was a
guess.
Capcom, a Capcom fighting game, and from there they spawn X-Men versus Street Fighter, and then from there we had Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, so I added the push block, the super jump, the supers, insane supers.
Oh yeah,
A
from
lot
one
of,
game
lot
to
of, a lot of,
another.
yeah, a lot of sprites were also taken from there to like different versus games, obviously, Capcom. But it wasn't a problem with that. I like having more characters in games, so it was fun.
Yeah, they are great games. They are still great games to play even now. Oh, actually, there is NetherRealm Soft, the developer from Mortal Kombat. They
Oh
might
yeah, new Mortal
develop.
Kombat soon, right?
They
Soon.
might develop the next Marvel game.
Marvel?
But we
Did,
can
did
see
you
what
hear about
happens.
it? Did you hear about
No, I
it?
did not.
Well, NetherRealm Software. They apparently it's just it's not really a rumor, but it's getting very close to yes, we have the license for Marvel. So I think they have the license for Marvel, and they will be making the next Marvel fighting game.
Yeah, because they haven't announced a new Mortal Kombat, and they usually do a certain years between each Mortal Kombat, and they haven't announced a new one yet. So I
There's
don't know.
nothing for Mortal Kombat, and not even for a new what's the other game? Forgot the name with the superheroes. Injustice.
Oh, right,
Injustice. Yeah,
Injustice.
I was going to say something about this, but go.
Injustice. There's nothing about any new
Yeah.
Injustice, but in some of the tweets from the developers, it kind of tease that they are working on something with Marvel. So again, it's still a bit of speculation at the moment, still some rumor, but what the dev have says kind of hint that way, that they will be producing the next Marvel fighter. A lot of people are not really happy about it because they wanted Capcom to do it, and some people are happy because they want something different. So I don't know.
Well, I want a new versus series for sure, and it would be interesting take on the Mortal Kombat version of this. But I've never really like saw Mortal Kombat as something that would make a good versus game since I've never
Yeah,
tried.
the
That would
gameplay
be
is
a
very.
it would be a very what is it? Oh, no, no, go for it.
No, I was just going to say the gameplay in Mortal Kombat is very specific. It's
Yeah.
very it's very grounded compared to the craziness of Marvel versus Capcom.
Yes, yes, and
So if they are making a Marvel game, and if they are using the same as Mortal Kombat, then the game will be very different.
yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
think I
sa-
would
I'm
probably
not saying
look
it's
at that
going to be
version.
bad. I'm saying it's going to be different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably going to be as 3D as Mortal Kombat or Injustice, and Injustice as well. Just as it's a DC version there, Marvel version like the same, but different. You know what I mean. So they kind of say, so I think they're gonna implement stuff from Injustice into Marvel probably, if they don't wanna. But that depends on how they wanna remark their legacy of a Marvel been. They may have been just take it from what the Capcom had done before, or just take stuff from Injustice. Either one of them, I believe, is gonna take. I don't think they're gonna make it a super new, but take probably Injustice reference, since that's what they are the best at, right?
Yeah,
Yes, I think
I
that's
think
Are
if
you
they make
talking about Marvel versus DC maybe? Hmm?
no, like
could be no could be as well. Yeah,
yeah, that too. I'm also talking about Injustice, how they made the game, since most of the DC is just it's kind of like the Marvel in my opinion. Just they like this is like more darker, and
Yeah, but it's
I
also
feel
more tamed. It's also more tamed, like in gameplay
yeah,
wise. That I really
yeah,
enjoyed it. There's a blocking button. You can't cross nobody up. It's a legit blocking button. You can high low
yeah,
somebody. That's about it. But you can't
yeah,
cross nobody up. My crosses mean
yeah,
nothing to you. Just hold
yeah. But
block.
that's probably what they're going to probably do, because that's how they do Mortal Kombat 2. It's the same developers, and that's probably how Marvel going to be too. If they going for they why they know how to do the games. But if they take a reference from Capcom, then I don't think the block button will be there. but I feel like they're going to take from Mortal Kombat and Injustice, where they have already been working with, and going to prove and make it a little more less restricted, hopefully. But
Yeah. I
well,
want
that
creativity in my Marvel game.
yeah, but I don't think it would be like in Capcom. Don't expect it to be crazy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you lost me at not crazy.
Expect it to be more tame, but maybe have a little more vivid creation in it than the other games they have done. That's what I feel like they're going to do.
I think you're right. If they are producing the next Marvel game, first of all, we don't know if it's going to be just a Marvel game or is it going to be a crossover, you know, like Mortal Kombat versus Marvel or DC versus Marvel. You know, we don't
Yeah.
know, first of all. But if they do a Marvel game, I think it's going to be closer to Injustice. I think because they're
Yeah.
going to
Sad.
they are going to use what they know best in terms of gameplay, in terms of graphics. They're going to use their experience in what they know best, and
Yeah.
that's what they do best as well. And I
Yeah.
think that's what they will do in a Marvel game.
Yeah. That's a huge turnoff for me. It's a huge turnoff.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm not even sure they're going to do it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we have anything else to add or anything else to talk about,
I
guys?
mean, we went way over the topic we were originally
Yeah.
talking
That
about.
is true. That is true. But it's a nice
We were done
topic to
hours
talk
ago.
about.
Yeah, it was
It
just
was good
fun.
talking.
Okay. Well, I think we can wrap up the recording. What do you think?
Yes,
Yeah, I think it
sir.
was pretty good.
Cool. It is a lot of fun to record. I have to admit, I'm enjoying it a lot. And again, thank you everybody for watching and listening. Next time we'll try perhaps to talk about different type of games. Perhaps. What do you
Oh,
think?
maybe our favorite non-game. I don't know.
We can try that, I guess.
Yeah,
But I know
we'll
we
see what
are
happens.
very fighting game focused because that's what we play the most, and we
Yeah.
are very passionate about it. So
Mhm.
I'm guessing that the podcast that will come we will always talk about fighting games. Maybe we will try also to talk about different type of games as well.
Okay.
Anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Excellent. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and we'll come back in another podcast another time. Then bye for now.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah. See ya.
Thank you, Smells.